What's going on, everybody? It's Dameon Macleod, the Alpha Wolf. So tonight's workout, I'm going to do something new here. Well, it's not new for me. It's going to be new for you guys if you haven't done something like this before. What I call it is, I call it slow reps. There's no real name for it. There's no official name for it. And if there is, I don't know it. Just something that I do, like I said, the prior 2 weeks before this, I've been doing the heavy bench press, anywhere from 225 to 265 for reps. And this week, I felt like I need to tone it down a little bit, let my shoulders get a chance to recover. So, what I'm doing on these reps is I'm going up, I'm exploding on the way up, but I'm trying to lower the weight really slow on the way down. I explode back up and lower it really slow on the way down. But I'm also using a light weight because of the fact that I don't want to put too much tension on the joints and the tendons and the tendons in the shoulder area. So what it's doing, it's going to actually strengthen your tendons, because you're not putting that much pressure on them, but you are putting some pressure into it, and combined with the fact that I do drink a lot of milk, and that's a very, very vital tool, when it comes to keeping your body healthy. I know some people are lactose intolerant, or some people just don't like milk. Milk makes my stomach feel a little weird from time to time, but you gotta suck it up. You can't go through life crying about everything that doesn't go your way. You might not like the taste of milk, but it's beneficial to keeping your bones and your joints healthy. So, if it gives you the bubbles, so what? Just gonna be sitting at work or sitting in class or whatever. Drink some water, get in at least 2 glasses of milk every morning like I do. And again, like at night, if I'm up late at night, like editing video or whatever I'm doing, watching UFC or whatever I'm doing, I'll make sure if I'm up at midnight, I give me at least a glass or 2 glasses of milk at midnight, just to keep my body infused with that calcium, because that calcium is going to help rebuild those joints, which in turn is going to help your workouts. So, along with this light working set, I think I did about 3 or 4 sets of this before I actually increased the weight. You're going to be strengthening your tendons, you're going to keep your joints healthy, you're going to keep your wrists, because your wrists and your shoulders tend to take the brunt of the force when you're doing the bench press, from my experience. I know everyone's different, so I can't say, some people have stronger forearms than others, some people have stronger triceps or stronger shoulders than others, but for me, the wrists and the shoulders get the brunt of it. If I do ever get like a little tightness in my elbows, it's probably going to be from doing I would say the tricep push downs or tricep extensions. But the fact that I do them so much and I take care of my joints by drinking milk all the time, getting the calcium in there, rebuilding the tendons and the bone, I don't see too many problems with it as of lately. And me typically, I know this isn't even about lifting weights, but drinking milk, well, it is about lifting weights. Drinking milk, like I said, in turns help your bones. I go through about a gallon of milk every 4 days. So say if I bought one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe it might last till Saturday. By Saturday, I'm definitely going back to the store getting another gallon of milk. And what type of milk I drink is vitamin D milk. Now, a lot of people take supplements. They take, I don't know. I don't really take bone pills, so I couldn't tell you offhand right now what bone pills other people are taking or joint pills. I know there's glucosamine and chondroitin pills out there, but me personally, I stick to the milk. I like to know, even though milk is go through processes and this and that, it's still gonna give you, still gonna help rebuild a lot better than anything you can buy that's man-made. Plus, it doesn't cost. I've seen a bottle of chondroitin pills. They're like $28 to $35. A gallon of milk will cost you, $3 max, depending on where you go to. So, I am going to push that, you guys. If you are into heavy weightlifting and you do grind it out in the gym like I do, I really recommend you go out and get you some milk. If you don't like the way it tastes, suck it up. If it doesn't agree with your stomach, suck it up. Alright, drink it up actually, and drink a lot of water. You start to get that bubbly feeling. If you drink 2 glasses of milk, drink 3 glasses of water, not immediately after. That's crazy. But, in the hours after that, drink enough water to compensate, because your body's going to absorb that milk and that calcium. And just, get the water in there to help clear yourself out. But I didn't forget, I will be doing a video about soy milk. I see a lot of fitness guys on YouTube, they're going by the low calorie soy milk when they're cutting. I can go on and on about that for days, but I'm not going to do it on this video because that's not what this video is about. But in the meantime, stay the fuck away from soy milk. Trust me. So after about 7 sets on the bench press with the lightweight, I was pretty warmed up, didn't feel too much pressure in the joints, but I don't want to force it. So I did 1 set with the 185 before I racked everything up and I moved on to the chest fly machine. So what you're going to see near the end of this set is I'm doing what most people would call baby reps. I'm doing some really close contracting reps. I'm not going to expand my wingspan out too far. I'm going to keep it real close. Just pump a few of those close sets in there. It gives me a nice little pump in a nice close tension pump, if that's the best word for me to describe what it is. And I can kind of, it's just something that I like to do. It gives me a nice feel. Feels like I'm kind of breaking the muscle down. I'm keeping that tension right there on the chest for just a few pumps for, in that set. And then I go back and do a few more full sets. Alright, so if you pay close attention to when I'm contracting the weight on this chest fly, I'm keeping my elbows, as straight as possible, not entirely straight. There is a slight bend, but the straighter you keep it, the closer you can pull it together or close it together, which is going to get a better contraction. But as you can see, on my contraction, if you look at my chest area, you can see the upper chest getting engaged. So that's the thing I like about doing the chest fly, is that it doesn't work like just your bottom chest or your upper chest area. It works the entire chest, so you're gonna pretty much get the same benefit as if you're doing, for me, I'm not gonna say for everybody because some people might not agree with it, but I'm a seasoned lifter, I've been doing this for a while. It works my whole chest. After I get up and I do the flex, I can feel it in my upper chest up near my collarbone area. Really good. So for me it works. I'm pretty sure for some of you it works, and for those of you who don't, stick to what you do. But for me, it gives me a really good pump in my upper chest. So there are some days where I might come in and only do the chest flies for the chest. I won't even do bench press, just to switch it up. Like right here I did 5 sets total. There will be days where I'll come in and I'll do 10 to 12 sets total, and I'll probably go anywhere from 10 maybe to 15 reps per set, depending on how heavy I make it. So not only do you get a good pump in your back and your biceps from doing this exercise here, but I get a really good pump in my rear delts. So as you guys can see from my workouts, I don't do the traditional body part split like most people do. I'll do chest and back on the same day. So even though today I was going to, stick primarily to chest and triceps and some shoulder work, I decided, what the hell, I have the energy, go in and do some maintenance work on the back. So the last time I did these seated lat pull downs, I used the straight bar with the wide grip. This time I decided to go with the V bar, well, similar to the V bar, close grip, and did a few good working sets with this. So that's one of the main benefits you get from doing a compound exercise. You're going to work multiple body parts at the same time. So quick story time, guys. So back in the day I was a big Bruce Lee fan, and everybody pretty much was. They all want to be buff like Bruce Lee, even though he wasn't really buff. He was really ripped, really cut, toned, in shape. So back then I'm like, yo, I want to be like Bruce Lee, I want to put on some muscle. So I would do a ton of push-ups. But the thing that I would do the most, because I love concentration curls, I would my aunt had this doorstop, right? And I don't know where she got this thing from, but it weighed about 8 to 10 pounds, and it was made of stainless steel. And I would get that thing, man. I would wake up Saturday morning and I would lift that thing, you know, hundreds of reps, you know, like for hours, just lifting this thing, switching arms back and forth. Whenever I'm watching TV, not doing anything, I'm pretty much, that thing's in my hand, man. I'm just lifting it. You know, at night, time to go to bed, I'll go in, turn the radio on, and just walk around the room doing mad sets before bed, you know. So I always had that solid base, you know, even as a kid before I had a weight set. Yeah, so me, you know, being a kid, I wasn't really into the typical kid stuff, you know, playing with bugs and all that. I was pretty much looking for something heavy. If I'm outside, I'm looking for big rocks and picking them up and lifting them, putting them back down, you know. So really quickly, I want to give you guys a quick tutorial on the different heads of the bicep. You have the inner head of the bicep and the outer head of the bicep. So in the beginning, on the concentration curls, I was doing a regular grip. Now the regular grip is going to give you the ball look, that inner head, that baseball look. That muscle there is going to get the majority of the work when you're doing the regular grip, whether you're doing a standing curl or a concentration curl. Now, to put more emphasis on your outer head of the bicep, you have to switch your grip over to a hammer grip where you have your thumb facing upward, as you can see here in the video. That's going to put more emphasis on that outer head, which is going to give you that mountain peak look. Yeah, I didn't start out today, you know, primarily being an arm day, but I kind of got into it and I had a lot of time to kill, so I went ahead and did about 6 sets on the concentration curls. The first 3 sets were with the traditional standard grip. The last 3 sets were with the hammer grip to work that outer head of the bicep. So as you can see here, I'm now doing the standing dumbbell curl. Now, I call these my irregular sets. Now, the reason I call them irregular is because the beginning of the curl, I'm using a hammer style or hammer grip. And I think about halfway through, either 5 or 6 sets, 6 reps into the set, I switched over to a standard grip, and then I decided to go with the left to right alternating bicep curl. I did 6 sets of this, so each set I did a little variation. I always started with the hammer curl, and either I'll do the alternating curl with the standard grip, or I'll do the standard grip but I'll do a double curl, which means I'll curl both at the same time, my left and my right. So each set I put a little bit of spin on it just to get, just to mix it up. So you see my struggle there, right? Yeah, I went to failure on that set. A lot of people say they don't like to go to failure because it taxes your nervous system. I don't look at it like that. I don't even put that in my mind. That's just another excuse, blah, blah, blah. Go in there and you put your all into every set, every rep. In the end, you're going to be rewarded, with new muscle growth. If, instead of saying, I was going to tax your nervous system, I'm going to stop short of failure. No, push yourself to failure. That means take a little more time, a little more rest, take a little bit longer water break in between your set. Like, you can't see, but I actually have my water bottle propped up against my phone. After that set, I went to failure. I'll run over there, take a few sips of water, get you a nice rest in between, that in your next set, then you go right back at it, The only time you do that short rest intervals is when you're trying to cut and when you get your heart rate up. You go for a 20-second, 30-second rest. But when you're doing hypertrophy work like this, you can take a little more rest because you're going to need every ounce of energy you have for your next set. If you're putting your all into every set you have, then it's okay to take a little bit of a little longer rest. Now, I'm not saying rest 5 minutes on dumbbell curls. Well, let me see. All right, put it to you like this. When you're on the bench press, that's a compound movement. You're working multiple body parts. If you're lifting heavy, working multiple body parts, you're going to need a little more rest time, So I would say give yourself 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes between sets, especially if you're working with 225 and above, depending on how big you are. I don't want to get into all the details. But give yourself a really decent rest, like I said, in order to get, the most out of your next set. with the bicep curl, you're only working that curl, the bicep during the curl motion. So, you can take a little longer rest than 30 to 45 seconds. Take a minute and a half to make sure you fully recover. Get some fluids in you while you're resting. Utilize that time. Don't just stand around and bullshit. Use that time, to get you, shake your arms out, get the blood pumping in there, get your energy back, and go back at that next set. So going to failure, in my opinion, man, I think it's something that everyone should be doing. Don't give yourself limitations. If you give yourself limitations once, you're going to be looking to give yourself the next limitation the next time something gets difficult or gets hard for you. So eliminate limitations. Say that 5 times fast. Eliminate limitations and go in there and push yourself. Like I said, when you're in this game of bodybuilding and working out, there's no room for holding back. Go in there and give it your all. You're taxing yourself. You're pushing yourself. Go in there, go to failure, as much as possible. You don't have to do it every set, of your exercise, but towards the end, you go in there and put your all into it. As you can see, I did the 2 sets of back. I did with the seated pull downs, and I did the machine. So I'm working my biceps in both of those exercises already. Then I did the concentration girls. Now this was my first set of those. That's a lot of volume, when it comes to biceps. But push yourself. That's what I'm trying to emphasize to you guys. Go in there and push yourself. If I wouldn't have pushed myself, I would still be a skinny buck 125. So go in there with the mindset that you can do it and you will do it. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say a lot of you are asking, why am I going so light on the standing dumbbell raises for the shoulders? The reason for that is, like I said, 2 weeks prior, I was going heavy on the bench press, putting a lot of stress on the bones and the tendons and the shoulders. So this week I'm trying to go light, but I still want to get the work in there. You don't want to let your muscles relax too much, because then you're not growing. So I decided, still want to get some work in. You can get a nice pump. You can still tear the muscles down going at a lighter weight. You're pretty much giving the bones a rest, but you're still working the muscles. So your bones can feel it. Now that I'm not lifting, I think I had like the 25, sometimes I'll do the 30s. After a while, that taxes your bones and your tendons. So by lifting these 15s or the 20s, they're extremely lighter, but I can get in more reps. I can tear the muscles down. I can go for 25, maybe 20, 25 reps per set. Versus with the 30s, I could probably go 15 to 17 reps per set. So I'm gonna tear the muscles down, but I'm gonna alleviate some of that damage that I'm doing to the tendons of my shoulders. So that, accompanied with 2, 3, 4 glasses of milk per day, is gonna get me back in the game. So next week, all this week, I'm gonna be giving my shoulders a little bit of rest, preparing myself for next week so I can go back in and get right back into my decent routine of the heavier weights. So like I said before, I advise you guys go out there and get milk. If you don't like the way milk tastes, too bad, suck it up, drink that shit. It's gonna help you out. It's very beneficial. I'm gonna make the video about soy pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Stay away from milk, stay away from soy milk, because trust me, once I give you guys the information, you can see. Now it's up to you. If you decide you still want to go for it, hey, do whatever you want to do. But when I give you guys the lowdown on soy milk, you're going to kind of look at it in a different way than you have been. Alright guys, I want to close out this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the style of videos that I put out there for you. Anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes of me, gym footage, not just me walking around the house with the POV talking you to death. If I am going to talk you to death about stuff that's not gym related, I'm going to throw it on top of some gym footage so you guys can get a visual aspect as to form and the different exercises, and just to motivate you in general to get into the gym, take that next step, get to that next level, just to pump you up and get you going. So with that said, until next time guys, get into the gym, do work, and muscle up.